Hi, my name is Paul Abia. This is my 3D printing assignment, and the career I'm looking forward to is mechanical engineering, which is why I based my project on this. So, before I want to start, I want to let the audience know that I have had previous experience with 3D printing and that this is one of the realms that my career revolves around, and especially with the new age of technology up and coming. This also helps us with ideas and projecting and all the different types of builds. Uh, when I first had my experience with 3D printing was when I first came to college and had to do it with a project. I made a little speedboat. 3D printing did help a lot with the modeling, and that's where I got my first, I guess, kind of experience with it, allowing us to model, shape, and get familiar with the programs and software designing. 3D printing is very important to um, the engineering, designing, and technical part of mechanical engineering. It enables ideas for testing. 3D printing also helps with material costs, so you're not just throwing stuff out the window. You can make mistakes with the cheap materials and then go back and revise if it doesn't work. 3D printing also comes with the software because you can't just throw it into a machine if you don't have the software. The 3D printing also shows how your idea works or if it will work because the software itself will let you know if you have errors or not. And overall, this is an advancement on designs and constructing. So thanks to my upperclassmen, uh, Anthony Anderson and Job, who are in the mechanical engineering hall, helping me with this project and helping me understand and get a better understanding of 3D printing. They explained to me the designing process. I also got to know that there are different materials in 3D printing for different uses. We what to do and what supports we have for 3D models. And while we were in the lab, I had local examples. So the design process, you em- emphasize, define, ideate, have prototypes, and then test. So all these are building blocks onto each other. You want to find a problem, you want to define that problem, you create the idea for the problem, you build your prototype, and then you test it out to see if it'll work. If it doesn't, then you start off from step one and keep going until you find a practical solution. So some of the softwares that they were using or some of the machines they were using to build projects, build ideas, build their inventions. The first one we got is the Qidi. This is your it's not standard, but it is one of the more common 3D modeling machines that they did have in the lab. It is a good product, and they use it pretty often. We have the Voron Micron, Job's favorite, and the one he's more uh, in tune with. I've also used this one for my mechanical engineering project, which is why I understand this one better than that one. We have the cubic or anycubic resin. The resin helps to solidify the bases or the structures of your 3D models, and it helps with high details, smooth finishes, small complex parts, and less visible layers to help strengthen the body of the model that you're building. And on to the right, it shows the three different materials that they use in the lab, which are just the basic ones, the ones you can find more easily. We have polylactic acid, we have polyethylene terephthalate, and then we have acrylic nitro. The three of these all have different parts that they use and different uses. You can see that, I mean, this isn't the best photo, but they have different heat durabilities. They have different flexibilities, different durabilities by themselves, and different heat resistance. And on the top, they have different preferred uses for their functionalities. So this is one of the projects that they built while I was over there asking them questions, and I'm just gonna play the video. So that was one of the projects that they made. Also, the resin that they use is made with a curable liquid that is also um, produced with UV light. And all this information I got from Anderson and Job was done on April 12th. Then the second video, for this one specifically, Job told me that they had 6 different parts when they were 3D printing. When making the lightsaber, they're all just cylinders built into each other, and then they interleak inside so they don't fall out when they come out if you flip it upside down to stretch out the lightsaber. And when they were building this, these used the lat- lattice or lattice supports, which is how the 3D building model will come out with overhanging ledges, so not everything is stacked onto each other. The supports attached to the overhanging ledges to the ground, so they're not warping, sagging, or bending with the heat when they're building from the bottom up. So they had to take off those, and those supports really help with 3D modeling. This is it for my presentation. Thank you.